Hello, in this lecture we will discuss about one of the important concept, or we can say important realistic scenario that you might face during your performance testing. The here problem is when the performance test environment is significantly differs from the production environment. When the performance test environment significantly differs from the production environment, the discrepancies can lead to misleading result. How to handle this scenario? It means your performance testing environment is different, its resources are different from your production environment and they significantly different. So then how do you handle this scenario in your performance testing? For example, these are the environment differences. Production has 8 node server, test environment has 2 node server. Production has high speed network, test environment has a low speed network. Production has a dedicated database, whereas testing environment has a shared database. So what are the possible things that we can do here to mitigate this risk? Because we need to get a realistic performance with respect to production environment, but our test environment is not similar to production environment. So in that case, some of the things what we can do is, firstly we will document the differences, right, in terms of node count, network speed and database. So you can document the differences side by side in a table format, for example, right, something like this. So and try to do configuration adjustment according to the production environment, such as aligning the test environment settings for like JVM parameters, thread pool size with production as closely as possible. And you can collaborate with infrastructure and admin team to check the possibility for additional resources availability. If there is any additional resources that can be added to the test environment to bring it close to the production environment configuration, right, you can check that possibility by discussing and collaborating with infrastructure and admin teams, right. And if there is any possibility of cloud resources availability, then you can use that cloud resources to spin up an environment closer to the production specification for some of your critical test cases, right. And what you can do, one more thing is, you can scale down the load. If you don't have a resources available in the test environment, right, one of the option is to scale down the load. If a production handles 10,000 users across 8 nodes, but test environment has only 2 nodes, so you can scale down it to 2500 users for 2 nodes, because 8 nodes can handle 10,000 means 2 nodes should be able to handle 2500. Accordingly, based on the number of nodes, you reduce the number of threads or number of users. Apply correction factors. After testing, apply correction factors to extrapolate the result to production scale. For example, let us say production has 2 servers and test environment has only 1 server, and capacity of the test environment is half of that of the production, right. Assume in test environment, if the response time is 2 millisecond, then we can extrapolate that result, or we can apply that factoring, and we can probably say response time in production will be 1 millisecond, because capacity of the production environment is double that of the test environment, right. We will discuss in a separate lecture with a detailed example how to apply the correction factor, right. One more thing that you do is monitor and adjust. Use the tools such as Grafana to monitor resource utilization and adjust the test parameters based on the observed performance. You can make certain adjustment based on your observation. And one more thing that you can do is partial production test, means deploy new changes to subset of users in production and monitor the performance before full rollout. It means, for example, you might have seen WhatsApp, Facebook, and many other social media networks, they roll out the feature initially to users in certain geography, let us say only in United States. After rolling out and observing and getting the feedback for few days, they will roll out the same feature to other countries such as India or maybe Europe or Australia, so on, right? So they won't roll out the same feature worldwide at the same time, right? This is called partial production test. You provide these changes or make the changes available only to few users and observe the performance or observe the uh, behavior after initial deployment to subset of users. You can observe and you can make a correction if there are any issues, and then subsequently you can roll out to the remaining users. So in conclusion, by following these steps, you can mitigate the impact of difference between test and production environment, ensuring that your performance testing results are as accurate and actionable as possible. I will attach this document in the resource section of the lecture. You can refer this for your study. Thank you for watching.